I'm here at the J Davidson with manager Phil Parkinson. It's finished Altrincham 1, Oldham Athletic 0. What a brilliant performance tonight. You must be delighted, Phil.
I am. I'm absolutely delighted. I'm so pleased for the players. They've worked so hard over the last couple of weeks, and going into Torquay in this game, we would have took 4 points all the way away at Torquay and getting 3 points tonight. So yeah, absolutely delighted for the players as well. They just thoroughly deserved it. The work, the endeavour, the application that they put in, that's what they'll get, because as I said, after the Torquay game, as disappointed as I was, we're a young group and they're able to achieve whatever they want in this division. It's just about consistency.
We've talked over the last few games how Chris Conclark's been developing. That goal is worthy to win any game of football at any level, Phil. That was absolutely brilliant. Pinpoint. You talk about being clinical. That was clinical.
Yeah, it was one of them games where we knew we'd have a lot of possession and there wouldn't be loads of opportunities because of the way they set up. I think they're like a 5-3-2 out of possession. So we knew we'd have to probe and push and be patient with the ball, and needing a moment like that from somebody like Chris or Ryan, Marcus, Egley, Jordan nearly hit one as well, didn't he? So we've got them players who can do it, but then as the game's progressing, you're wondering if it's coming, and then Chris steps up and he delivers, doesn't he? I mean, it only feels, what was it, a season ago when I saw him playing for Fleetwood against Stockport County, and I thought I'd seen the next Wayne Rooney in terms of the way he dominated a very experienced Stockport backline, and I knew from that moment he was going to be a special player. He's took his time to develop here in terms of we've been patient with him, a bit like all the lads that we have to develop and wait for, and now we're seeing the fruits of that patience and the fruits of that labour. As
a midfielder yourself, games are often won in the middle of the park. Lundstrom and Osborne were outstanding tonight.
Yeah, I thought that was Elliot's best game he's had for us, period. He did the horrible bits that I know isn't his absolute forte. He's a ball-playing centre midfielder, and Josh complements him really well. And I thought the way they combined today, I think Lunny got man of the match, didn't he? I'm sure it was difficult to choose between them because I thought they were both like Rolls Royces out there today.
And your game plan as well, Phil, in the first half, I noticed that Barrows and Jones were pushing on and Elliot was playing in like a left-back position. Was that... Obviously, you thought about that before the game in terms of...
Pure luck, John. Yeah. No, of course. And listen, I certainly can't take all the credit for that. Neil does some fantastic work with him on the training pitch, and tactically I think we got it bang on today in terms of the way that we played through and dominated possession, because it's easy to say that, to dominate possession, but then you've got to execute. You can't be sloppy with your passes. You've got to be progressive as well. You've got to penetrate. You can't just keep going backwards and sideways. And I thought we got that balance really well today.
Oldham as well, they came here on the back of a very good result at the weekend. You've got Fondop and Tollett up front who cause all sorts of problems, but just a word for your two centre-halves, Cooper, alongside James Jones. Again, got to say, Phil, I thought they were great.
Yeah, I thought them and Ollie behind them in terms of dealing with the height and the threat of the ball coming in the box, but I've got to be honest, I felt we limited them by keeping the ball to very little in the first half. And then the dying embers of the game, obviously, we're getting a bit edgy because we want to see the game out and probably being more direct than we need to be. But that was a big key to it. But as you've said there, if they don't put their head on things that they need to, if they don't get to grips with two very good forwards, we can't win a game, and they give us a massive platform to do that today.
You took Jordan Ayum off and you brought Kaja on. His work rate down that right-hand side was great towards the end of the game, and really stretched the game, which you probably wanted at that time.
Yeah, well, Egley's a very exciting player, isn't he? And I think when you look at that front line there, that's kind of how we've always had our front lines, lads who can get down the sides, come inside, pocket players, the 10 in Chris. So we have a talent ID, and Egley certainly ticks them boxes, and hopefully he'll start to get a few more starts as well soon.
This National League, it's a brilliant league, isn't it? You say to me every week, you're up for it every week because you have to be. If you take your eye off it, we've beaten Oldham, a big, Premier League side who've obviously fallen recently, but they travelled in numbers, 3,500 inside the ground, 1,600 Oldham fans. You want more of that here, don't you? It's brilliant under the lights at the J Davidson tonight.
Yeah, it is. There are always special occasions when you're under the lights, as you said. The atmosphere was electric at times. We've got to give our fans something to cheer about, and I felt we did, and they really got behind us. But as you said there, I didn't think how long we've been in now, 6-7 seasons, that I'd be standing in front of you saying we're playing against Oldham Athletic when we were going Barwell away in the NPL. So we've come a long way. We're ever so proud of what we've achieved, and we want more.
I'm playing Oldham and actually deserving to win the game. In possession-wise, I'd look at the possession stats. very, very much on top Altrincham tonight.
Yeah, well, that's what we are. We've never deviated away from our identity. It's not something fluffy. It's not something we just talk about because it's an FA word in terms of being an in-possession team. It's something we work on, and we do it for a purpose, to win games like that, where you've got to keep the ball, to find the right passes, to create chances, or to stop the opposition from hurting you. So there's a number of ways that we use that.
How important was it as well to have, I say, a settled side, no changes tonight in the starting 11 or on the bench? It showed tonight. They're playing well at the moment, aren't they? Confidence looks high.
Yeah, well, as I said to you, the perseverance with these young players, it pays off if you believe in them, and they've got to be good enough as well. So if they're not good enough, they won't play. But they know every game, even when we've lost this season, I've come in front of this camera, I've said when we've been bad, but it's been very few and far between. Some people really don't like it when I say that, but I'll be brutally honest. And sometimes we've won and I've not been very happy. But in general, the performances have been really, really high. We've just got to be consistent with everything we do. And as I said, sky's the limit for this team. But they're young, so when we don't win, don't batter them. It's as simple as that. They're a young team and they're learning. And we'll have some really exciting nights, some big nights, but just get behind us all the time and we'll give you your just desserts.
And the fitness levels are showing there, Phil, now. Full time, obviously using the facilities at Edgerton, but the lads kept going for 90 minutes, didn't they? And they had to, because Oldham started pushing towards the end of the game.
Well, they're chasing the game, aren't they? And we're holding on to something, so I think that's why it swings like that. But I don't think that's ever been in question with any of our teams. I think even the part-time boys in this division held their own, but there were games where we could tell physically, endurance-wise, that we weren't quite up to it. So that's why we had to make the transition, and it's working. We're seeing the rewards of being brave and making that jump from part-time to full-time, and we've just got to keep building and getting better each week.
And finally, what was your message to the boys in there after the game?
Get in.
Brilliant. Enjoy your night. Well deserved. Great 3 points and a wonderful strike as well to win the game for Altrincham.
Brilliant.
Cheers, Phil.
Thanks, John.
Thank you.